Uh-oh, better bring extra boots. South Dakota weather sucks in local pheasant fields. No sweat, birds still fly.
Yes, sir.
And wet weather cannot rain on Redfield's big party, a ringneck celebration 100 years in the making.
There it goes.
The Flush, presented by Federal Premium Ammunition and Pheasants Forever.
A reputation can be a tough nut to kick. Locals in one South Dakota town could care less.
Oh, we're the Redfield Pheasants.
People round this farm town live for Redfield's ringneck reputation.
Yep, our high school mascot is the pheasant because we are the pheasant capital of the world.
It's almost scary how much people here love hunting. So much so, Redfield decided to throw a party. 100 years in the making.
Redfield's got a big celebration going this week, so we're gonna shack up out on the east side of town. We heard about a place that might be a little bit fun.
Anytime you wake up in Spink County, South Dakota, it's gonna be a great day.
Marie Kimblicka and her husband run Pheasant Country Lodge, a working farm 5 minutes out of town.
We have 5 houses that we rent.
We move in with hunter Mark Van Tilburg,
I've adopted them. They've adopted me.
a Kentucky guy who hunts the Van Vliet farm every fall.
I've been here about 10 days in South Dakota.
He'll buy a house here eventually. He'll have to, because eventually I'm gonna kick him out.
You in the mood to hunt?
I was born that way.
We have found the ethos.
The big challenge this trip, out there. See it? South Dakota's birdie reputation punked by old Mother Nature.
Too much water, all the internet chat rooms, and the roads are a mess in South Dakota.
Doesn't look too bad until you get up in the air.
The problem is the water. They've had precipitation here since January, almost a year ago, and there's just water everywhere.
Mark and I try to get across a rather small strip of grass.
Kind of water all over.
We muck along in ankle-deep water. Such a pain. A single rooster flies, and I'm not even close to ready.
Too wet there. Way too wet.
That's what I told you.
Mark knows a spot. One of his favorite field corners.
You just walk this grass and then walk north.
Mark hunts 2 dogs this trip. Out now, his old standby Satchel. Satch, as Mark calls him, is a 9-year-old yellow lab, son of Watermark Retriever's high pedigree lab, the Boss. Satchel finds birds and he retrieves them. It's that simple.
Genetics will make them hunt, but especially a flushing dog, if you can get them to hunt for you, then you got a trick right there.
Pretty.
Mark and I chase Satchel into birdie-looking habitat. The best part, it's dry enough to get around.
Nothing like a little Canada thistle grove.
A bit of sound makes my heart beat too.
Rooster! 2 roosters. 3, 4.
We can hear the birds on the move. We just can't see them.
Rooster!
Rooster!
Rooster! Nice shot! If you had kept up with the puppy, he flushed those first. We might have been done now.
You just need to be a little taller.
Bird numbers seem a bit lean on our first 60 minutes out. At least we know there are a few around. See what I mean?
I've seen deer run past, but I've never seen bucks flushing hens. It's pretty special. Even when it looks dry, it is not. It's unbelievable.
If this soggy hunt keeps up, I might just question that whole Redfield pheasant capital thing.
It's a good little spot. Rooster! 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 Oh my gosh.
In 30 seconds,
Hens, 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 hens.
more birds fly than most hunters see in an entire trip.
Oh,
That's a rooster.
hen. That was?
That
Young
was a
one?
rooster. That was a good experience. That was fun right there.
The Flush is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Walton's, everything but the meats. Benelli. And by Nutrisource.
Chasing ringnecks tends to be fun, except when birds force hunters to play hide and seek.
The challenge is, normally this time of year the crops are just about gone. Everything is still in.
The birds hide in miles of unharvested South Dakota corn, a symptom of months of rain. Which is why, an hour before sunset, Mark Van Tilburg and I just hang tight next to a 40-acre piece of public land.
Cackling going around all over us.
Mark and I are thinking that if we just hang out for about 10 more minutes, just enough birds will roll out of that corn and back into that crep. There come more. Look at them all. 1, 2, 3.
Coming out of that cornfield.
Yeah, they're all going in. They're all going in, right over there.
Isn't that a neat sound? I love to hear them cackle.
We give ourselves 30 minutes to try and find a few of those birds.
Is there cut corn on the other end?
Yes.
These darn pheasants always amaze me. We walk right where the birds piled in. Every rooster sneaks away like a ghost. Not a single threat from our cold barrels. Mark could really care less.
Wowzers.
I get to wander around. That's one advantage of being retired and having a dog that loves to hunt and a puppy I got to train.
Tonight, we settle in back at the house. Come morning, life on the prairie rolls on with more hunters. The crew with the camper, now 3 generations strong.
They've been here forever. Kurt, my husband, was a toddler when they first started coming.
Yep, the Getch crew hunts here every single year. Howard Getch started hunting around 1971. You can do the math.
Yes, I fired one shot at that bird here.
Nowadays, Howard's 2 sons and grandson tag along. Even so, Howard still loves the rush of every single flush.
A lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here at age 84.
This is one of those days I'm just not compelled to carry a gun. It is more important to just sort of sit back, stay out of the way, and let 3 generations just be.
Yeah, it's an inspiration to my brother and I. We hope that, we'll be able to come out here in our 80s and hunt with our boys and continue the tradition.
Truth be told, this family gets a bit of help on the hunts. It comes from son Byron's favorite dog, Izzy.
I got an experienced lab, so I'm pretty fortunate. Izzy is just a machine on these roosters. When she gets a track, boy, you look out. That bird, something's going to go up at the end.
Izzy is a 9-year-old yellow lab, a female. Slim and trim, she gets through a ton of habitat.
This downside is that, labs only live about 12, 13 years, and then they go on to another place, and you get them to a point where they're just in their prime, and it seems like they age too quickly. But it's a special thing. Part of the hunt is having your dog with you.
Especially when the dog has a nose worth trusting. Izzy is the best, as we will soon find out.
The Flush is brought to you by Pheasants Forever, Carlson's Choke Tubes, the Shooter's Choice, North Dakota Tourism, and by Ruffland Performance Kennels. This segment of The Flush is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism. Plan your adventure at NorthDakotaLegendary.com.
Hunting South Dakota roosters isn't exactly hard in downtown Redfield. Look, birds everywhere. But get out on the Van Vliet farm, Lake Corn changes the game. Most rows still stand at attention. By now, it's normally all gone, but a wet summer and even wetter fall changed all that. So be it. The Getch family still hunts.
Birds have been few and far between in other areas. And of course, there's a lot of standing corn that hasn't been taken off yet.
Howard Getch has hunted the Van Vliet property since Richard Nixon sat in the White House. These days, his 2 sons and grandsons tag along.
The pheasant hunting has always been good. Even in the down years, we've had really good hunts.
I think I saw maybe 1, 2 roosters and the rest were hens.
I keep her at heel with me.
Byron Getch always loved hunting here with his dad.
One of the reasons I love the outdoors is because of that. My dad taking us out and exposing us to things that a lot of people don't have the opportunity anymore to do.
That passion led to Byron's career as a Wisconsin conservation officer. Now retired, this hunt alongside Dad creates a special bond between father and sons.
Is there one in here, huh? Is there one in here? There he goes. Izzy, here. Oh, good boy, good girl, good girl.
That's Byron's happy face.
Hey, my wife calls me a flatliner. Good shooting.
It is here on the Van Vliet farm that magic happens. When conditions get tough, you must walk long enough and hard enough. And of course, you must always follow the dog.
Nice job, great shot. How's that for excitement?
Yeah, there's a few birds down here. Yeah, they're beautiful birds. It's amazing they can survive out here with this coloration. They're just so bright and full of colors.
Howard just watches this day unfold. Success never really measured in the number of birds dropped, rather a more profound benchmark.
I'm blessed. I got 2 wonderful sons, a wonderful family. And they are fine examples of young men. And that's all you can ask for when you're my age.
3 generations strong with the Getches. We know that long after Howard puts his gun in the cabinet, his grandsons are going to be coming, and eventually their sons.
Exactly why, back at home base,
So what'd you find down there for birds tonight?
farm owner Kurt Van Vliet takes time off his tractor to work on the grill.
Pheasant, jalapeno poppers.
But we just got into the lodging business, and that's mostly what people want. They want low budget, no frills lodging.
I wouldn't exactly call the Van Vliet experience no frill.
We do just really like people, we just do.
Kurt and Marie get friends and hunters together to celebrate what we all love. Life in the country, on the farm, surrounded by friends.
Do you guys pheasant hunt anywhere else?
Kurt and Marie are something else. They open their homes to strangers. They're not guides, they are farmers.
And Kurt and I just love meeting people and hosting people and making new friends.
These are some of the best people you're going to find, and it's neat to see how they use the land to, to help sustain all of us. And they don't often get the credit that they deserve.
Tonight, we celebrate. But come morning, this South Dakota party really gets started. You'll see. You'll see.
Pheasants Forever's mission remains to protect and restore America's wildlife habitat. Join Pheasants Forever today, and your membership will help us to create healthy habitat, cleaner water, and abundant wildlife. Please help us make a difference today that will last forever.
We came to South Dakota for the birds, but stay for a party. Downtown Redfield's old train depot fills up for breakfast. A celebration 100 years in the making. Just look around town.
See, we are the pheasant capital of the world.
So it's the middle of the week, but Redfield, South Dakota is hopping today. Down at the depot in the heart of town, they are celebrating 100 years of pheasant hunting. How can you not love this?
Redfield invited everyone to show up.
This is huge for us. This is part of us being part of history.
This small town relies on pheasants.
The pheasant has been integral in building our community, shaping our community, making our community be a special place.
So they will put on events to get people to town.
A few years back, Redfield celebrated South Dakota's very first pheasants. 3 pairs of hens and roosters released right here, just north of town in 1908.
On there! There it goes!
Today, we get ready to celebrate in the same spot. This time, to honor South Dakota's very first pheasant hunt on this day back in 1919.
2 birds a person, a one-day hunt was right here 100 years ago.
We're gonna do a release of 20.
This is probably a little payback. We owe them this, right? A little bit of homage. They've provided a lot of recreation for us for a long time. Kind of a simple moment, right? But maybe a poignant one too. Wouldn't you say, Felix?
It's also a big business influx for our community. A lot of people come to our restaurants and our stores and our gas stations. So we get a month out of the year to treat a lot of people to good hospitality and hope they come back.
Local Ron Wren offered to show us a favorite birdie spot of his.
I don't know how wet it's going to be.
Yeah, you do. It's gonna be soaked. Real simple. Time to hunt. I see you like to hunt the easy stuff.
An abandoned cattle feedlot turns out to be the spot where pheasants eat too.
Rooster out there. 2 roosters. Rooster! Rooster!
That was pretty. There goes. What you got in the pouch there?
Pretty bird, though.
Oh, what? That's the one I released.
Oh, we're too many miles away from there.
No, mine was a flyer. Poor Felix.
For exactly 1 century,
Holy cow.
Redfield has been ground zero to a game we all love.
Hunt.
Today's hunt no less profound than the first 100 years ago.
Got it? There it is.
And the perfect way to celebrate South Dakota pheasants.
Good Lord. Look at this. Hunt.
Even with boots and socks adequately soaked.
We've been able to avoid water for 3 days. And now look at us. Remember we started talking about all the water? I think it all culminated. My Irish setters are pretty amazing until you get in water that's 18 inches deep. Doesn't look wet, right? You see the cornrows.
My boots might be full, but so is my heart. I love this town and these people. Thanks, Redfield, for 100 years.
It's time to go home.